After waking up from his nightmare of remembering the exact moments his powers activated, which almost caused the near destruction of all of Holocron City 10 years ago, Ty continues to toy with the decision of running away from the camp so that his friends and everyone else around him won't figure out that he was the one who caused the anomaly all along. But as he packs his bags to go on a run, his mind flashes back to a decade ago when he first tried to escape the city with the Holocron ring, praying, "Please God, get me out of here," as he cordoned himself with the figure still chasing him. But as the man comes closer demanding to get the ring, Ty's hands lit up as he blasted a hole in the wall, creating a way of escape. But as he stood in the middle of the barracks remembering and holding onto the ring, the warden comes up to Ty demanding that he hand over the ring before things have to escalate any further, stating that Ty doesn't know the value of what he holds, going as far to threaten to brand him again if he said anything about the ring to Settle, who is furious with the warden, believing that one of his scavengers has stolen from him, which angers Ty, activating his powers as his hands start to glow as he holds the ring, with the warden realizing that Ty has been hiding a bigger secret all along, having his men surround Ty, telling him to surrender. All while Settle is outside the camp arguing with the warden's men to bring out the warden. However, inside the camp, Ty with his powers activated just touches the ground, causing everything to collapse on the warden and his men. And at that moment, the warden realized that Ty was the anomaly all along, declaring that the bounty on his head is his. Ty, still not fully understanding how his powers work or what activates them, makes a run for it, intending to escape the camp for good, short-circuiting one of the plasma fence generators, creating a way of escape for himself. But as Ty was about to step through the hole, his friends caught up to him, ready to embark on their plan to use the ring to find the person who caused the anomaly, just like they planned to last night. But they were woken up earlier by the commotion of Settle shouting about thieves and lowlives. When they asked Ty why he is out here, he says that he was going to come get them, but thought to check on an escape route first. But they took a guess that the ring is the reason why Settle was so pissed off after the warden, which while they were actually discussing this, Settle corners them, with Jack saying, "Oh God, please don't let us be dead." And right on cue, Ty's plan from earlier finally creates a huge hole in the fence, leading to the boys bolting it out of the camp, with Jack crediting his prayer as a reason why the gate blew open, but the others don't quite buy it, as Settle began firing stun blasters behind them. Thinking quickly, Jax overrides the spec goggles to plot an escape route as they run and dodge Settle's fire. But as they're about to escape, Settle had a perfect shot on Ty from locking on to the Holocron ring in his backpack. But the computer data reported that the Holocron ring was activated by the deceased Holocron Ranger Tyren Hunter, which led to a feeling of shock taking over Settle as he lowers his aim, letting them go. After making some distance, the boys take a moment to catch their breath, realizing that Wade is really shaken up, learning that Wade contracted a condition called glowing lung. But the warden promised he'd take care of it if Wade worked for another 2 years, which is why his debt was increased to 2 years when he only had a few days left, stating that there's an outpost past the Forbidden Zone that fixes magnetic injuries. To their surprise, Ty knows the name of it and its location, a place called the Chapel. And Wade, knowing that that is exactly where he needs to go, suggests that he should see the warden first before leaving, which Ty objects to, stating that they should leave now, asking his friends simple question: "Do you guys trust me?" with all 3 of them unanimously responding no as they head towards the chapel, which was a grueling journey that took roughly 14 hours, with Ty along the way feeling really bad as he thought to himself, his parents, his home, and now his life? Everything Wade's lost is all because of me. I can't watch him lose anything else. Not now, not ever. Eventually, the friends make it to their destination with Wade on the brink of collapsing. Yet, despite how tired they feel, they are a little awestruck at the ruins that stood before them, Coming up to a Holocron God statue that had the Holocron Creed inscribed on it, that Ty reads part of it to his friends, which says, "Please God, remind me that I am also a part of the blood rhyme shards you hold in the dark." After reading the creed, which no doubt flooded his mind with memories of his younger self, he turns to finally confess to his friends, saying there's something he needs to tell them. But when he turned around, his friends were all gone, as they were ambushed by the same figure who chased Ty out of the city a decade ago. And with that, let's put The Way of Yahweh Ty Part 2 on our Christian fiction judgment scale. For story direction and concept, with writing credits to Jason H. Tucker, Emily Hagopane, Gar Anthony Hayward, and Malia Logan, with Sarah Murph as editor, this issue locks in, just like last issue, a 4 out of 5 on our scale. I am really enjoying the way they are rolling out their world building and Ty's story, which for me keeps getting more and more intriguing as I continue to read through the story. From Ty's encounter with the warden, to him kind of lying to his friends about what is going on, to Settle opening fire on the boys as they run away, to being shocked at the data scan that the ring was activated by Ty, to Ty feeling guilty that he is basically the reason why one of his friends became an orphan, as he was supposedly responsible for the anomaly, along with what seems to be the very same figure that was chasing him over a decade ago catching up to him once again. It is all really intriguing, and I am definitely excited to see where they continue to take the story whenever Ty Chapter 3 comes out, as it's off to a good start. When it comes to dialogue, it's a 4 to 5. I didn't cover every line in my summarization. I pretty much skipped a lot of it in this video, so you are not getting the full brunt of, you only got like 40% of the actual 30-40% of the dialogue of the book. I flat out skipped Settle's argument with the warden's men and everything the boys bantered about on their grueling 14 hours walk. But it was all pretty well done and fun. Still struck that Saturday morning cartoon vibe that I could definitely see this being voice acted in a cartoon one day, just like the last issue. Which I must say, the problem I had with the art style and the delivery format being confusing was still present in some areas, but it wasn't as bad as the first issue, I must say. Which leads into our next category of artwork and creativity, well, more so just artwork, and more so delivery structure. Which, after thinking about it more, I decided that any gripes on delivery format and issues I may have, like I did last issue, will be handled in the story direction and concept section of the review, rather than making a whole new category for creativity and delivery structure alone. Which means that when compared panel to other comics we covered, it sits at a 3.5 out of 5 on our scale. The side delivery still is amazing of the comic, especially how it is laid out and the interactivity while reading and everything. I have to big them up for that, of course. When it comes to theological basis, which refers to how well Christian principles are adapted in a piece of fictional work, it's still a 0 out of 0. But we're getting there. I firmly believe we are getting there. I am positive Ty Chapter 3 might drop a bombshell or something. It's just that when you review books that have a resurrecting Nephilim running across the multiverse causing chaos, angels dipping in and out of portals to handle business, and a hero named after his favorite scripture that goes about quoting scripture while taking down a villain behind a child kidnapping ring, it takes a bit more than a character saying he prayed in the moment to activate such judgment on this channel. I mean, the moment made me smile. It was really funny and I liked it. As well as the Holocron Creed. That every time I read that, it's like it gets me fired up for war or something, and I've never been in a war or anything. But I really like the Holocron Creed. The Holocron Creed is like, it's pretty cool. Remember when like Ty read that small part, is like, it's pretty cool. But the flaw for the theological basis ranking on this with this judgment scale, has been set pretty high by the other comics. So while this is, of course, I mean, the comic is literally named The Way of Yahweh, and the authors and the persons behind it are Christians, just like on our scale of assessing theological claims and stuff being made within the story. Not really much to for us to touch on in this issue, but I'm pretty sure we leading up to something in the future issues. So lastly, my recommendation against a volume of gospel infused comics we have covered, it gets a 5 out of 5. And usually, but just reiterating why, because I don't give a lot of comics 5 out of 5. Most of the ones that I really like, most of the 5 out of 5 rating usually goes towards if you had like $20 and you wanted to pick from the 70 or so comics, I think it's over 70 comics that we reviewed, what would I highly recommend that you pick up with that $20? And this comic would definitely make it onto that list of, hey, this is one that you should definitely check out, in my opinion. Which you'll need to join the Group Lore Guild in order to get access to this issue, as well as to get the opportunity to actually make your own decisions on how the story should play out. For the sake of the simplicity of my reviews, I decided to only cover the non-guild influence default story path. Well, at least I think it is the non-guild influence story path. I did kind of like click through random decisions and choices at the end of last video just to showcase what the guild story is, but I think, I don't know, when I rebooted it, it did not give me the guild option. It only gave it to me at the end of the story. So I don't know if this is a guild option or not, but I just went with the default path to my knowledge of how the story should play out. If that's how it should play out, then I don't know what else to say. Yeah. You'll leave it at that. Highly recommended. You could make your own decisions on whether Ty should hand in the ring or escape with his friends or stuff like that. But overall, The Way of Yahweh Ty Part 2 gets a 4.125 out of 5 from the Xplanations. Link to purchase the Group Lore Guild Pass to read it for yourself, as I did skip a lot of the dialogue in my summary section, can be found at the top right hand corner of your screen and in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, then why not consider leaving a like on it and subscribing for more reviews and coverage of comics made by professing believers. If you enjoyed the video to the point you want to check out another one on the channel, then be sure to click the card at the top right hand corner of your screen to check out our other Group Lore related reviews, or you can check out this video that YouTube is recommending to take you down our gospel infused comic reviews corner of the internet.